everybody? Welcome back to CRN. Tonight on tap, we have the SERL Truck Series live from the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. 150 laps on tap here tonight for this second to last race of the season to crown the champion for the SERL Truck Series. My name is Dylan for CRN. And tonight it's a little bit of a short track. Ran a couple of practice laps here. Could get the truck to rotate a little bit too good. But nonetheless, it is a .52 of a mile track. Track temperature is going to be 112 degrees, 79 degree track or air temp, 2 mile an hour wind. And you see it there. You can see these guys still out there running down a little bit of laps. These guys are getting ready to finish up their practice, get into qualifying, and just watching these guys run a practice, get side by side with each other, learn how this track is going to give and take. As you can get a little bit tight coming off the corner, you can get loose going in. It's definitely going to be a different strategy here tonight. So far, it looks like we have about 8 people out here getting ready to go into the tonight's qualifying, as Landon Lacey sitting on the front row for practice. A little over 4 minutes to go left in their practice session. Dakota Camper sitting P number 2, Josh Anderson in 3rd, Stoney Benfield in 4th, Dean Brummett in 5th, Richard Gonzalez in 6th, Cody Reeder in 7th, and David Mayo is going to round out that 8-car field here tonight. Nonetheless, want to give a big shout out to Dakota Camper for bringing on CRN to cover the last 2 races of SERL. As CRN's always looking for future broadcasted leagues to showcase your driver's talents. Want to give a big shout out to everybody that has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, we couldn't have anything that you guys have provided for us here tonight. If you haven't yet, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss a single thing coming from CRN, as we have a lot on tap throughout the week. But first off, got to give a big shout out to Darren's Nail Gun Repair. He is the title sponsor for the league. Going to give away a refurbished Brad Naylor. And also a little bit of prize money for a Clean Driver Award. Darren Lumpkin at Darren's Nail Gun Repair. As these guys taking on the track here. 2 minutes left in the practice, I should say. As you see there, everybody's going to be running them inside. Me personally, I love North Wilkesboro. Absolutely love it. In any kind of car. The Cup Series is actually going to come back to North Wilkesboro, so can't wait to watch that. Can't wait till the Cup Series on iRacing and the official series are at the great North Wilkesboro. Looking out here now, it looks like Landon Lacey still able to hold on to that P number 1 spot, as Dakota Camper, a Core Racing native, runs the ARCA and Truck Series over on Core Racing on Tuesday nights. David Mayo, Richard Gonzalez, another 2 that I run with on Friday nights and I believe Monday nights. So good to see those guys out there in the field as well. Josh Anderson in the number 7 Chevy. Seen him out there as well. So far, it is still Landon holding on to the coveted pole here, as practice is about ready to finish up here. Taking a quick look at Dean Brummett in that 316 butt kicker Chevy. You see there on the front windshield the SERL Chase. So there are more spots going up, but These guys got a lot to prove here tonight as, it's not a win and you're in type thing. Top four advance to the final race of the season. So these guys are going to give it their all for 150 laps, going to see what they can do and to get into the race. Qualifying, getting ready to start here momentarily as we get ready to bring you coverage of that as Dakota Camper. He's going to be the first one out here. Going to throw down his lap time. I'm going to go ahead and ride along with that number 3 of Dakota Camper. You see there, he's going to take it to the high side, get those tires a little bit warmed up, as that's the normal line that you want to run around here. Get the tires warmed up just a little bit, and then dive it down to the inside. He's going to do that here. And another thing you got to watch out for is that grass going into the corners. Get you guys a little bit of track map up here so you guys can see exactly what I'm going to be seeing all race long. First lap for Dakota Camper is going to be a 19.176. It's good to put him up to the pole as of right now. See if his second lap can get a little bit better coming off turn number 3 and 4. Not to get any loose. He doesn't. And he's going to go quicker as Landon Lacey takes over that P number 1 spot in the number 24 Toyota. As he's going to dive it into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to be right up along that curve, right where you pretty much want to be. And he's going to go even quicker with an 18.956. Jesse Steffs out here running a couple more laps. As he's trying to put his number 49 towards the front of the field here. Dean Brummett. Oh, where did he go? Dean Brummett, there we go. He just got done with his qualifying run. Got to wait for the remainder 5 to come out here, run their laps. Cody Reeder is going to be the next one out here on the track, and that number 25 Chevy. We'll go ahead and see what kind of lap times he's going to end up putting down here. He's going to run that high side, just like I said, how I would do it. Everybody's got their personal preference. Taking lap number 1. I'm going to dive it down to the inside. Don't want to hit the grass. Don't want to get a little bit too sideways. Coming up off the corner. Dives it into turn 3 and 4. Going to run the high side. Angle it down just a little bit. Gets a great run off the corner. He's going to put his number 25 machine P number 5 with a 19.270. Want to give a big shout out again to Dakota Camper for allowing me to cover the last 2 races of the SERL Truck Series. Big shout out to him. Is Cody Reeder goes second quick with a 19.014. Good enough for P number 2. Top Split Brotherhood, Josh Anderson, number 7, coming out of turn number 3 and 4 to start his first time to lap. He's going to run that middle to low lane. Get a great arc and a great run. Almost touched the grass. It's a little bit loose coming out of turn number 2. And he's going to take this first lap just to get his tires a little bit warmed up. Runs that middle to low lane again. First time to lap is going to be a 19.352. Turn number 2, better exit off that time. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Comes up off the corner, and that's going to put the number 7 5th quickest with a 19.161. Josh Anderson, I'm going to stay out there, run a couple more laps, get used to the car, or truck, I should say. Go down into pit lane, get ready to utilize that. If these guys go green, always want to make sure you guys practice your pit in and pit out. Qualifying, get ready to wrap up here. in about 20 seconds, as it looks like Landon Lacey is going to be P number 1. Cody Reeder is going to be second. So there's your top row. Dean Brummett in the 316. Third, Dakota Camper in fourth. Josh Anderson in fifth. Jesse Steffs in sixth. Richard Gonzalez, Stoney Benfield, and David Mayo electing to not take a time here tonight. So they're going to be working their way up from the back to the front. And it's definitely going to be a fun race to watch. As we got most of these guys getting ready to load in here. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a beautiful look at these paint schemes. Well, once Landon gets rolling, we'll be able to look at that number 24 machine. We'll go ahead and look at Dean Brummett in that 316 buck kicker. Chevy Silverado second. Oh, this is going to be Cody Reeder in that number 25 KPR Motorsports Chevy Silverado. Dakota Camper in the Gathering Place live on YouTube and Facebook every Sunday. Make sure you guys go and follow that. Dakota Camper in the number 3 Chevy Silverado. Josh Anderson in the Top Split Brotherhood Too Soon Racing. Number 7 Chevy Silverado. Jesse Steffs and the Corona Extra number 49. Another chase driver. Stoney Benfield in the number 75 Moonlight Speed NC811.org MG Ford Fusion or Ford Tundra Ford F-150. Looking at Toyota down here. Richard Gonzalez in that number 23 True Timber Tracker Bass Boats. Chevy Silverado in rounding out your 9-car field is going to be the 08 Hardee's Chevy Silverado of David Mayo. Get another good look at that number 24 SWM Toyota Tundra. As these guys are getting ready to go green here, going to look as the truck lights are off. They're going to lead. He's going to lead these guys into turn number 1 and 2. Nope, truck lights are still on. As we're going to take another pace lap around. If you guys have anybody you guys are voting for and want to see up in the lead and to take away the race win here tonight, make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to see who everybody votes for. If you guys want to see somebody that you don't get to see a lot, make sure you comment. I will do my best to show them a little bit more as well. Landon Lacey going to bring these guys off into turn number 3 and 4. You see there just a beautiful camera going out of turn number 3 and 4. Going to take it back up. Landon Lacey going to go right on green. He's going to not almost be able to clear that number 25 machine going into turn number 1 and 2. Josh Anderson, the number 49, gets together going into turn number 1 and 2. They're going to keep it side by side and clean and green, as Josh Anderson is not able to get clear of that number 49, as the 49 has a little bit of damage on that right side, but not going to affect him whatsoever, as Josh Anderson right along door to door with that number 49 machine. And oh, Josh Anderson gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. He's able to keep it straight. David Mayo having to be the biggest loser in that, having to check up a little bit more than what he wanted to. Get you guys that track map up here ever so quickly. As we're looking here, hit the reload textures button. As it looks like Richard Gonzalez trying to battle on the inside of the number 75 with Stoney Benfield. Not able to get there as of right now. Going to let Stoney go. And now he's under pressure from the number 7 of Josh Anderson. You see there, Stoney and Richard Gonzalez both playing the same line. Josh Anderson to the outside of Richard Gonzalez, trying to make that high side work just a little bit. Going to get the run and power through and put Josh Anderson back up to P number 7. Now starting to work on that number 75 of Stoney Benfield. Probably going to do a little bit of a crossover. He does. Goes to the inside of Stoney. as Stoney had nowhere to go but up the racetrack, and Josh Anderson back to losing 2 positions. Back up here in the front, it is Dean Brummett, P number 2, keeping up with that number 24 truck, as the front 4 have got a little bit of a breakaway here in the early going. Dakota Camper staying back there, P number 4, saving a little bit of tire wear. He knows it's a long race, 8 laps in, and we have another big battle back here. Stoney Benfield going to let the 23 of Richard Gonzalez by. See if that number 75 has a rebuttal for the number 23. The 23 drifts up just a little bit. Always want to make sure you protect that inside line. There he does it again. Turn number 1 and 2, as it sounded like somebody was spinning, but everybody's keeping it straight. And Dean Brummett all over the back bumper of that number 24, keeping him honest, trying to find a way around the number 24, get some laps led. Gets a great run coming off the corner, but not able to capitalize on that position. We'll go ahead and look from the nose view of the 316. He's got that Prodigy Esports number 24 in his sights. Dives it in just a little bit deeper than the 24. Going to slide up just a little bit. Going to try to get the run off. Not able to do so. As looking back here, Dakota Camper is all over the back bumper of Cody Reeder, trying to get to the inside or the outside of that number 25 machine to make a pass. Not able to get there so far. 12 laps completed out of 150. Dakota Camper rolling the center in the entry a little bit better than the number 25, as he is still leaving that bottom lane open. Looks like the 25 got a little bit loose on entry. Able to keep it all together, as the front 2 are starting to check out a little bit from our 3rd and 4th place racing, as Dean Brummett and Landon Lacey are taking up the 1st and 2nd positions. Looking from the rear chase, or the back tailgate of the number 25. You see there, they're both running the same line all the way around the track. Nobody wants to give an inch, don't want to make a mistake that could potentially cost you a position. But now that looks like Cody Reeder has found his momentum and his rhythm, it looks like he's starting to pull away from the number 3 machine of Dakota Camper, and it looks like we have a spin, as David Mayo had a little bit of trouble going into turn number 3 and 4, it looks like. Coming out of turn 4, gets a little bit loose, locks it down, hits the inside wall, and just noses it there, and just not able to get that truck in reverse. Just going to come to a complete stop, hit the tow button, put it back towards the field, as we're going to go ahead and cut back to the live scene here. And I believe that will bring out our first caution. So, with that being said, the 24, the 23 stay out, and the 75, along with the 7. Everybody else elected to take the time to go down pit lane. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Show them who you're rooting for. As the 24 and the 23 elect to come down pit lane this time by. Same with the number 75, leaving the 7. Oh, the 7 came down pit lane with them. So now it's going to be the 25, the 316, and the 3. They're going to take the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd position away. As that might have been a good strategy call. 19 laps out of 150. There is a stage On lap 70, they're not going to call the caution flag, but if a caution does come out by the time lap 70 does come around, that will be the stage break. Again, make sure you guys get a hold of Darren Lumpkin with Darren's Nail Gun Repair, as he is going to be the sponsor for a Clean Driving Award, giving away a $20 prize for the Clean Driver Award and a refurbished Brad nailer. Make sure you get a hold of him for all your nail gun needs. 2x2, Cody Reeder has the green flag in his hand. Pace Truck's going to take the dive down into pit lane. Does Cody Reeder wait? No, he goes right away. Going to clear the 316. Not going to let the 25 get away that easily, as Dean Brummett to the outside gets into the wall just a little bit, able to keep it off the wall after he got a little bit in depth with it, but not able to get clear of the number 25 as Cody battling back on the inside. Cody gets a little bit loose going into turn number 1. Does that allow Dean to get clear? No, it doesn't. Another drag race down the backstretch as our 2 race leaders. Cody getting a little bit loose going into turn number 3 and 4. Look at the drift by the 316. Staying up high, giving Cody all the room that he needs. And finally, maybe, the 316 of Dean Brummett getting around cleanly, and he does. So move the 316 up to P number 1. We're back here, Landon Lacey trying to get around the number 3 machine of Dakota Camper. He was the one that pit just a couple laps ago after everybody else came down and used their set on that first go around on the cautions. Josh Anderson trying to get around the number 75 of Stoney Benfield, not able to do so there, as Stoney running that middle lane. Josh powering around on the inside. Another battle back here. Jesse and Richard Gonzalez side by side going into turn number 1 and 2, as Richard's got the momentum but has to check up just a little bit due to a little bit of looseness, as he's going to be on the back bumper. Josh Anderson down to the inside, able to clear Stoney, not by much, as going into turn number 1 and 2, Josh Anderson will take over P number 5 and move that number 7 machine up 1 more position. Biggest mover of the race so far will have to be the number 316, up 2 positions from where he has started. Going into turn number 3 and 4, we're going to look here. See them all going down to that digger. Everybody's using that inside lane to middle. And it looks like the front 4 have checked out once again. As the 7 diving it back down to the inside and not able to make up any time on the front 4. As the front 4 have checked out yet again, going down the backstretch, Cody Reeder trying to do whatever he possibly can to get that number 316. See it there. Serl Chase, as they are doing a battle here once again tonight. Still single file, but back here, the 49 under duress from the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez. Richard Gonzalez looking to make that inside lane work. Has to check up just a little bit. And when you're down on the inside like that, you got to put so much more wheel into it than you do when you're on the outside. You can roll the outside a little bit better, have the run off. And that's what Richard Gonzalez is experiencing now, as he's trying to make that inside work. Has to let off the throttle just a little bit, but they're still side by side going into turn number 3 and 4. Side by side, Richard Gonzalez gets a little bit loose. So does the 49. Almost collects the 23. 49 is going to let the 23 go. Let the fight live on another day. Landon Lacey has caught the number 3 of Dakota Camper. Not able to make any headway, though, as they're still running the same exact lines, pretty much. You see there, the 3 is running a little bit higher than the... He's running a little bit higher than the number 24, as you see there. Now it's Dakota Camper running a little bit lower than Landon, but Landon gets a good dive and a good arch going into turn number 3 or 1 and 2. They're possibly going to be side by side. Nope, not this time by, but if Dakota Camper leaves that door open like he does, he's going to have that number 24 all over his inside of that Toyota Tundra. As Josh Anderson, you see him back there peeking in the distance. He's going to try to make a move here down to the inside. Almost hits the grass, gets right up on the back bumper of that number 3 machine. And they're still single file. Another look down to the inside. Landon's almost there. Almost got to the rear bumper of the number 3. Going to do it again as they're going to be side by side. Landon not able to make anything happen as these guys are going toe to toe. Landon Lacey trying to do whatever he possibly can to get around the number 3 machine. Not able to do so. As you see that arc there that the 3 is doing, he's going down low, letting it drift up, and then coming back down. And that's kind of helping his momentum coming up off the corner. Landon getting a little bit loose. Dakota Camper still running that middle lane, giving Landon the inside, side by side, going into turn number 3 and 4. Does Landon do a little bit of a dive to get ahead of the number 3? The 3 is going to have a run off the corner. Still up here, P number 3. Go ahead and switch it back out here as the 3 is side by side with the 24. Giving a little bit of room, but not much, as they are trying to keep it as clean as they possibly can without sliding up into one another. Still side by side now. It looks like Landon able to get around the number 3 machine. As Dakota Camper's going to fall back to P number 4. And the 316 has opened up a 1.1 second gap on the number 25. And, you know, he's got a 2-second gap on 3rd place. But they got lap traffic coming up here. And they're side by side. David Mayo and then number 49 side by side in front of our race leader. 49 is going to let the 49 go, but David Mayo going to back up his quarter just a little bit. They're still side by side. Leader coming by. Oh, they're wrecking in front. David Mayo and the 49 able to keep it green. As we're going to go ahead and run it back here really quick, as SDK was not able to pick that up. Going to see exactly what happened to the number 49 and the 08. 49 got a great run coming off the corner, a little bit of neck code. 08 hard into the outside wall, going to bounce off of it. Tap the 49 again right in front of your race leaders. Able to keep it green though. Dean Brummett able to get away. Cody Reeder able to get around David Mayo. Landon Lacey going to try his best to get around David Mayo now. Dakota Camper doing battle with the number 49, trying to get around that lap truck. 49 still running the outside. Dakota Camper on the inside. He's able to get around the number 49 as this pace has been set by the number 316 as he's getting ready to make his way up to the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez. Richard Gonzalez is another Serl chase driver looking to make anything he possibly can. Looks like the 49 had a little bit of issues there. Going to go ahead and take a look back. See it there. Goes down. Gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. Goes down to the grass. Keeps it straight. That's not going to inherit a caution. But Richard Gonzalez slowly getting caught by the race leader. But up here, David Mayo up almost into the wall. Goes the 08, able to keep it off. Going to get a great run off, but not to match the speed of the 3 machine. As David Mayo using that high lane to his advantage. As the 25 has Landon Lacey all over his inside. Landon trying to make that inside work like he did on Dakota. Not able to get there this time by. As Landon's still going to use that inside to his advantage. Going to roll the bottom a lot better than I've seen a lot of people do here. Still side by side coming out of turn number 2. And nobody's going to give an inch. Cody almost into the wall. But able to keep it off of it. Cody running a really high lane. Landon almost clear coming out of turn number 3 and 4. Not able to get clear before the corner. And Landon Lacey back up to P number 2. And now he's got to try to work on running down that 316 of Dean Brummett. Landon Lacey finally gets clear of the number 25. Dakota Camper back there, P number 4 getting a little bit loose. Going into the corner, or coming out of the corner, excuse me. So everybody is single file all the way through the racetrack. And it's definitely going to be a cool race to watch. You see there, the 25 get a little bit loose coming out of the corner. And with the trucks, you know, you burn up that right rear almost. You burn up that right rear just a couple of laps. It's going to take even more laps to get that right rear cooled down. As you see there, the number 25 taking his time now, getting back onto the throttle. Doesn't want to get a little bit too loose. As Richard Gonzalez up to the high side, letting the leaders by, giving them all room. Good move by the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez. As we are coming up to the stage. Lap number 70 is staged, so not going to throw out the caution if there's not anybody spinning. While these gentlemen are going green flag racing, we're going to give you guys a "you love to hear it," and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back, and it looks like the 316 is going to win the stage. Dean Brummett crossing the lap for lap 71 as he will win the stage. As they're going to keep it green here going into the final little bit of segment here as the 25 battling with the 49. And look at the front end nose damage of that number 49. Oh, the 25 had a pit almost mid the pit stall. Oh, that would have been really bad if he would have misjudged that just a little bit more than what he did. 75 get ready to go a lap down as Dean Brummett running the inside, dominating, showing this field what he can do, getting a little bit loose, going in turn number 1 and 2, able to keep it straight as the 25 is still in pit lane. 49 down to pit lane this time by as well. And Dean Brummett holding off strong on the race lead as the 24 has caught the 316. So Landon Lacey and Dean Brummett getting ready to do battle here. Stoney Benfield up to the high side, letting these guys go by. Not going to give an inch. Oh! A little bit of net code between the 75 and 24. Internet gremlins coming out here tonight as the 24 gets into the 75. Has a little bit of right rear damage. But 316 and the 24 both down into pit lane. And look at all that time that the 24 of Landon Lacey was able to gain. Dakota Camper staying out, playing the long game here. Not sure exactly how many sets of tires everybody does get, but it's still going to be a great race to the finish. Dean and Landon both out at the same time. Landon losing a little bit of time coming out of pit lane. Richard Gonzalez into pit lane, getting ready to come out this time by. Landon and Dean both one lap down, but Dakota Camper is your race leader. In that number 3, the Gathering Place, trying to get another win here, getting ready to put Stoney Benfield down one more lap. As Josh Anderson is in this time by, he's going to take his pit stop. And just like that, Stoney Benfield is the one car that is getting ready to be put a lap down. But look at the 316, a dive down to the inside, maybe 3 wide coming out of turn number 3 and 4. As Dakota backed out of it, let Dean go by. He knows he's on fresher tires. And put Dean Brummett back on the lead lap. But here comes Landon Lacey down to the inside of the number 75. Clears him going down the backstretch. Down into turn number 3 and 4. The 3 staying out. The 24 down to the inside. Going to take that lap back the hard way. A little bit of Bill Elliott. When does Dakota Camper go in? As of right now, I'd have to go in pretty soon. With as much time as you are losing coming out of the corners, I just gotta do something. Take a look at this right rear suspension, get you another great look with that bar right in the middle. As Landon Lacey try to do what he possibly can to get back up to that number 316. Lost a little bit of time. And trying to see if he can challenge the 316 just before another stop of another pit strategy here. As Dakota Camper in a pit lane this time by. Bringing that number 3 machine in. Same with Stoney Benfield. And with pit road being so slow, you're going to possibly, he's going to lose the lead. As Dean Brummett coming out of turn number 3 and 4, he's going to inherit the lead back. And now move Dean Brummett back up to the race lead. Landon Lacey in second. Cody Reeder in third. Stony Bedfield coming out. Derek Camper coming out as well. Not going to lose a lap, but getting ready to lose a lap, as Dakota Camper's going into turn number 3 and 4, and now so is the 316. Everybody is still single file throughout the race. And so far, it's been the Dean and Landon Lacey show, as just in front of the race leader, Stony Bedfield, side by side with David Mayo. He's going to be able to get around Josh Anderson, getting around David Mayo as well. And now Dean Brummett, the race leader's going to get around Dave Mayo. Down to the inside, he's going to wrap that white line into the curb. There's another thing you got to watch out for is that curb. That curb can, come out and bite you. As Dean has got his rhythm down all the way through, coming off turn number 1 and 2, 88 laps down out of 150. But in front, Stony Bedfield trying to hold off the late charge from Josh Anderson. Going to take it up high. He is a lap down. Josh Anderson is not. Josh wants to hurry up, get out of the sights of the 316. And Stony Bedfield going to move up towards the top, as Dean looking to put the 75 another lap down. So 2 laps down goes that number 75. And Dean Brummett has his sights set on that number 7 machine of Josh Anderson. Dean Brummett has led the majority of this race, as Landon Lacey trying to do what he possibly can to get back up to the number 316. You see it there, just a little bit of a distance. 1.5 seconds separates first and second. And then you got a 7-second gap back here to P number 3, as the leaders are going into turn number 1, 3, and 4. And now Cody finally getting into turn number 3 and 4. In front of Cody, he's got Richard Gonzalez and David Mayo, as they're going to cycle through positions here. David Mayo running 9th place. Cody Reeder able to get around the number 08. Now he's got to work around the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez. And I say about 2 to 3 more laps, and you're going to see that number 25 machine get around the 23. As you take a look at that right side of the 23's got a little bit of damage. But up here, it looks like Dean Brummett has caught the number 7. He's looking to put him 1 lap down. Dives it down to the inside on the 7. Going to hold it down there. The 7 up on the top. He's going to have a better run. Dean Brummett back down to the inside. Josh Anderson going to scrape the wall going down the backstretch. That's going to allow the 316 to get around him. Josh isn't going to put up much of a fight, as right behind him he's got Stony Bedfield 2 laps down. So Josh Anderson would be your lucky dog here if they were to have a secondary caution. Seven of Josh Anderson trying to hold off Stony Bedfield now, as Stony finding some late run speed here in the late going. 152 laps to go for your race leader, as Dean going to dive it down to the inside of the number 49 of Jesse. Going to make quick work of that pass. And as he's been battling through lap traffic, that has allowed the number 24 to kind of close in just a little bit, taking it down from 1.5 down to 1.3 and slowly starting to close. But now Landon has to deal with 3 lap cars in front of him. And, you know, that could play big dividends here, as that's just going to allow Dean to kind of check out necessarily. Landon still running that inside lane, going to get around the number 49. Doesn't want to battle him too much. And Stoney going to go up to the top, as he's not going to be able to get around the number 75 this time by. Stoney Benfield doing whatever he possibly can to kind of keep him away from the race leader. As we got the 08 of David Mayo into pit lane this time by. Stoney Benfield is going to let the 24 by. Now he's got to work on the number 7. And it's just the 24 in the 316. Can Landon run down Dean in the short amount of laps that they have left here, as these drivers have been green for the majority of this race? One caution in the early going, and now 24 diving it down to the inside on the 7, going to wrap that white line, a beautiful wrap, going to drift up in front of the 7. Now it's just the 316 and the 24. While he has been battling with that lap traffic, he has lost a lot of time, falling back to 2.03 of a second. And now Landon trying to do what he possibly can to drop back to that number 316. So now that gap slowly starting to sink back in. 1.8 now is the gap from first to second. Back here in the back though, Josh Anderson and Stoney Benfield still running nose to tail, as these guys are giving it their all, fighting for a final spot in the championship race. The points are tight. Looking at it right now, it looks like Dean Brummett has the early going. So Dean and Dakota Camper both tied with points. James C. Jones, who's not here tonight, is in third with 2,046 points. Dakota Reeder, 2,044. So with those not being here, you could see a new Final Four. Josh Anderson going to slide up the racetrack, and that's going to allow Stoney Benfield to get underneath of him. But don't look now, Landon Lacey is on a move, dropped it down to 1.5 seconds, as Landon Lacey finally getting some clean air and moving on up the racetrack. Does he have enough time? 113 laps out of 150. As coming out of turn number 3 and 4, he's going to take it up to 1.5 of a second, all the way down to 1.4. So he's getting a good entry into 1 and 2. It looks like 3 and 4 is his weakness, And that's where Dean Brummett gets a better run. You see it there, 1.4. It's probably going to jump up to 1.5 almost, as it's still 1.4 to the race lead, as Landon Lacey trying to do what he possibly can to catch up to that number 316 in the closing laps. Looking back here, looks like Dakota Camper on the back bumper of our third place. That's going to be the number 25 of Cody Reeder. Looking at it now, they're still running the same lines, so it's going to be a little bit harder for that number 3 to make a run. Not sure what happened to the number 24, but he lost a little bit of time going from 1.4 to going from 1.4 to 1.8. Now he's got to make up all that lost ground that he just missed. Looking at it now, we're still going. What can Dakota Camper do to get around the number 25 machine as we're getting ready to approach 30 laps to go? Dean Brummett opening up a 2-second gap on the second place runner. But Dean, more lap traffic in front of him of that number 49. Able to make quick work. Going to go back to the battle here for third as Dakota Camper trying to get around the number 25 machine. Not able to do so this time by. Dakota is still applying all the pressure in the world that he can, trying to force that number 25 into a mistake. 25 almost up into the wall, coming off the corner. And it's still side by side as a 49. A little bit off pace there. Here, the 49 down in a pit lane. So I wonder if these guys have to make one final pit stop as Dean Brummett is slowly starting to let that lead fade away. You see the distance there, 1.5 seconds of a gap. We'll go ahead and go over to Mr. Landon, right on board with this number 24 machine. Shows you just how much he is turning that wheel to get in there. He gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. He's so smooth with his throttle inputs, it seems like, and his braking. Back down to 1.4, we could have a battle on our hands. As that gap is slowly but surely getting ready to close all the way up. As the 3 and 25 still doing battle back there. But the focus is going to be on the second place driver. Can he catch our race leader? Down to 1.3. This is going to be a really good battle if we get one with 25 laps to go. Out here down to 1.5, 1.4. As you see there, Landon still running that way inside, going to pick up a lot of time. Dean running that middle to higher lane. They got Richard Gonzalez now in front of him. Richard's going to move up top. That's going to slow Dean down just a little bit. Dean going to be into the wall. Same with Richard Gonzalez and Landon Lacey. Going to make quick work of the number 23 machine, as that gap is now down to 1.2. Now back up to 1.3. Oh, Lacey getting a little bit loose going into the corner. Back here to Dakota Camper. Still trying to make his way around the number 25. Gets a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Able to keep the power down as the 25. A little bit of network issues there. Dakota Camper still applying the pressure to the back bumper. It's getting just a little bit loose coming out of that corner. Go ahead and follow along with the number 3, The Gathering Place, live on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Nice and smooth on in. The KPR Motorsports number 25 doing what he can to keep that number 3 machine behind him. This is the battle for the final podium spot here. Dakota Camper wants it, but so does Cody Reeder. As there is 18 laps to go as Dakota Camper gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. And now they're going to try to get around the number 08 of David Mayo. And Cody Reeder going to pull out just a little bit on Dakota Camper. Cody Reeder slides up right in front of the 08 of David Mayo. Move him up another. No, David Mayo still down there, P number 9, as Dakota Camper getting stuck down on the inside. Can't run up to the wall with the. Oh no! What happened to Lacey? Where did Lacey go? As something has happened to Lacey. Not sure what happened to the number 24 machine. As I'm not even seeing him out there on track. But a big gap has opened up, so 9 seconds to our second place finisher, or second place runner of the number 25. Dakota Camper now trying to hold off the number 49. He's finally used his fast repair now. And he's trying to make some noise up here. Camper down almost 3 wide, 49 and 7. It's Dakota Camper trying to hold off the late charge from the 49. Dakota Camper sitting P number 3, taking up the final podium spot. 10 laps to go in the SERL final playoff race before the championship here at North Wilkesboro. Oh, I seen some smoke. Everybody able to keep it straight. Richard Gonzalez slow down the backstretch. Richard Gonzalez going to let all these guys go by. And now Dakota Camper has to get back in his groove, catch the number 25 machine. And it's going to be kind of hard with him getting a little bit loose coming out of the corner, as there's just a gangle of cars coming out of this turn number 3 and 4. See there, turn 1 and 2. This 2 of the exit. Turn 3 entry, you see them all there, just a bunch of gaggle of cars. Just kind of single file all the way through. Nobody really running that inside lane all the way around. And you know, with Dakota running that little bit of a higher lane, he's able to make up the time on the 25, but not able to get to the back bumper. He gets into turn number 1 and 2 a little bit better, but 3 and 4, that's going to be the number 3's weakness of the race here tonight. If he could find or figure out 3 and 4, you could see that number 3 make a move on the 25 as the 49 going to pin that 49 machine down on the inside there. That's going to be Jesse trying to make a move on the 3, and that was a better corner exit for the number 3 machine. Camper slowly losing a little bit more time. 3 laps to go for your race leader of Dean Brummett. Coming back around turn number 3 and 4. You see it there. Dean Brummett with a nice little bit of a lead, and Dakota Camper is going to get passed by the 08 and the 49. We're going to go ahead and rewind this just a little bit, see exactly what happened. Yeah, Dakota Camper just gets a little bit loose. Let those guys go by. As 2 laps to go for our race leader. Dean Brummett showing his hand here tonight, trying to make it a win, another win on the season. Last time, just 4 more corners to go, half a mile left for the number 316. Out of turn number 1 and 2, beautifully done, down into the number 3 and 4. And it's going to be Dean Brummett coming home with the race win here in the SERL truck race at North Wilkesboro. Second is going to be Cody Reeder, as he's getting ready to come off the race. Third is going to be Dakota Camper. Fourth, Josh Anderson. Fifth, Stoney Benfield. Sixth, Richard Gonzalez. Seventh, Jesse. Eighth is going to be David Mayo. And rounding out your 9-car field is going to be Landon Lacey. We're going to go ahead and get these results brought up to you here really quick and get into our post-race interviews. P number 1 is going to be Dean Brummett in that number 316 machine. Second is going to be Cody Reeder. Third, and running out your podium position, is going to be Dakota Camper. Fourth is going to be Josh Anderson. Fifth is going to be Stoney Benfield. Sixth is going to be Richard Gonzalez. Seventh, Jesse Steffs. Eighth, David Mayo. And rounding out your 9-car field is going to be Landon Lacey. We'll go ahead and go back just a few more laps here and get a beautiful look at all these cars here. Dakota Camper is your 3rd place finisher. And we're going to get him up here in the broadcast booth momentarily. All right, here we go. Dakota, well, I moved him to the wrong one here. I think this is it. Oh, there's a lot of... Now where did he go? We'll go ahead and move these on down here. Let me try to find Dakota Camper one more time.
Hey, I'm
right. Oh, there he is. Dakota, hey, this is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth.
I snuck in the back door.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, how are you? That was a pretty good race.
Yeah, yeah. You guys kept it green. Kept it green for the most part. Had that early caution, but other than that, 150 laps in and 150 laps down, and you brought it home P3.
Yeah, my arms are tired racing with Cody there. I thought that was going to be for third, and I think Landon must have had an internet problem or something. I'm not sure, but ended up finishing third. It was a good race, and I appreciate running these guys. They race hard. Dean, he's super good, and Cody, those two are going to fight it out for the championship. I mean, I'm in there, but I'm hoping that we'll have something for him next week.
Yeah, you ran a pretty good race all the way from the start of the green flag to the end of it. And just kind of walk us through how your race progressed. I was watching you. Sometimes coming out of turn number two, you had a little bit of wheel spin coming out. Did that hinder your rear tires trying to get that power down to catch number 25? Or were you just being safe where you were and not trying to ruin a good points day?
Yeah, I so on that first caution, there was like three or four of us that came in and got tires, and everyone else was like didn't want to get tires, I guess. But I figured it would go green, so we got way out ahead of everybody. And then on the second, after everybody was going to pit for green, flag stops. I tried to go long to get a couple laps led and have the best tires at the end, but I was losing too much time, and I pitted before I really wanted to. But I'll come out 8.5 seconds behind Cody, and I just drove too hard to try and catch him, and I caught him pretty quick. But I think I had like 45 laps to try and pass him, and I just didn't have anything for him. I'd burned the rears off trying to get up out of the corner. I was just kicking it sideways, and there wasn't enough power. Even if I could get to the inside of him, I couldn't drive. I didn't have enough drive off to have anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, we watched your battle with the number 25, but next week, is championship night at Milwaukee Mile. Is that a track that you're looking forward to, or are you just hoping to make it all the way through?
Yeah, I do okay on the flat tracks, Gateway, New Hampshire, those type of tracks. So that should be. I've never raced a truck on Milwaukee, so it'll be interesting. So I'm not sure either of these other guys have either. So I think it'll be kind of a clean slate for everyone to get in there and spend a week practicing and try and win that championship. The winner will come home with a trophy. So hopefully we can put that one next to our season one trophy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You always want to try to one up yourself by getting another trophy added to the trophy room. But before we let you get on out of here and get settled up for the rest of the night, and then see you back out on Tuesday night for the ARCA and Truck Series. And Core, is there anybody want to give a shout out to on that number three machine?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my church, the Gathering Place. If anybody's looking for a church online, the Gathering Place Church Live on YouTube and on Facebook, and also Unchained Motorcycle Ministry. They do such great work. We'll try and get an Unchained truck in here for the championship race next week. Appreciate you for stepping in for us these last couple weeks. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, one more week, and let's have a good one.
All right, Dakota, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that third place finishing, and we'll be talking to you again next week.
Alrighty, you have a good one, man.
You as well. All right, that was our second place or third place finisher of Dakota Camper. Going to go ahead and move in our second place finisher. That's going to be Cody Reeder in the number 25. Cody, this is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cody, kind of walk me through, the beginning of the race, the middle, the end. We've seen you up towards the front, we've seen you towards the back, but that long green flag run, it looked like you were trying to do whatever you possibly could to keep that number three behind you.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, I ran a bunch of practice laps. It just never felt comfortable to me. That first like 17, lap run, I pitted, got the lead. Um, I didn't even make it to turn one before I felt like I lost the lead. So it was a battle. I was trying to make up to overdriving the car in that first run. That I guess would be the second run, but um, really put me behind. And I got to the point where I was just like, I can't be on these tires anymore. So I kind of short pitted the field and then ended up bringing everybody down pit road. But when I did that, I basically got off the pit road and just said, I'm not going to cook the tires. I don't care how slow I have to go. And it ended up working out for me because Dakota pit, I don't know, 10, 15 laps maybe later than I did. He ended up running me down, but I just was trying to be as smooth as I can and ended up pitting it behind me. Just really hard to pass here with the bumps and just the lack of grip and all that. So, yeah, managed the tires on that last run. I felt like I was hoping actually for a caution because I felt like I may have had a chance if I had another shot at Dean, but by that point he was already so far ahead of me. I was catching him about 0.2 a lap, just was way too late. So overall, good night. I think I'm in the championship next week, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you're talking about championship races here, and you won 4 races out of the whole season. One spot short, as you were battling pretty hard for P3. Then I don't know what happened to the number 24 machine. Just ended up going away on my side of things. So you end up coming home P2, and just like you said, the track is a tough place to pass at. I am, for one, a big North Wilkesboro type person. No matter what type of cars run here, I will always run and try to make any pass that I can. But, let's talk championship. You're going to Milwaukee Mile. It's a flat track, double apex kind of into turn number 1 and 2 where the pit road comes up and then goes back down. What's going to be your strategy for the championship race?
Well, the win. That's the main thing. I honestly, just being really transparent, I don't know that I've ever even made a lap at Milwaukee. I know there's some gateway comparisons to it, just because it's kind of flat. It's like a big Martinsville from what I know about it. I could be way off, but had a really good run at Gateway earlier this year. Won that race. I felt like I was, no offense to the other guys, just kind of in a different zip code. So I will, when it comes next Saturday, I just want to make sure that I'm putting myself in the right positions to get, make the passes I need to make, take the runs when I have them, keep the car clean, and I think if I can do that, I'll be there at the end, at least with a shot. So we'll see.
Exactly. Well, before I let you get on out of here, does anybody want to give a shout out to on that number 25 machine?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. It's awesome to be able to bring this to our friends and family and let them be a part of it. So thank you. Dakota put on the lead. Got to thank Garrett, my friend, my buddy, that spotted me really throughout the whole season, getting me to where I am now. My friend Joe was actually tagging along tonight, just watching, and it's cool just seeing his perspective on the race too. I'm sure I'm going to get his opinion here in a little bit, but yeah, everybody watching, thanks, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that second place finish, and hopefully we get to see you again in the podium's position next week.
Thank you.
All right, that was our second place finisher of the number 25 with Cody Reeder. Now going to move up to our first place finisher, the man that kind of dominated the rest of the race once he got the lead. That's going to be the 316 of Dean. This is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth to get a copy.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, buddy. I tell you what, as soon as I crossed the flag, I felt something over my shoulder, and it was my wife standing there with a Steve Austin Broken Skull American Lager.
Well, I mean, you definitely gave them what Steve Austin always gives everybody whenever he's in that wrestling ring. And you bring it home P1. It seems like once you got the race lead, there was no turning around.
Yeah, I tell you, it's kind of funny the way this whole season has played out with SERL because I know you're new to the broadcast booth, but I finished second a bunch this season. Like, I think I went on like a 5 second place finishing streak in a row, and I think I've won now like 3 out of the last 5 races or something. And it's just as the season's kind of progressed, and every race progresses. I may not always have the speed out of the gate, but once I figure out what this truck's doing and I can kind of chase the track a little bit, I've got the speed at the end. And tonight, like I said, I mean, my teammate Landon Lacey, when pit road first opened on like lap 20, he missed it, and so he was fighting from the back, let me get a big lead. Stage break comes, I go ahead and pit for tires, and I got a little better in and out than he did, and just by the time it was over said and done with, this thing was a handful and a half to drive.
Yeah, I mean, just before everybody came into the session, I actually got out there, ran a couple practice laps. I do love trucks at North Wilkesboro. And, just about 20, 30 laps into the run, I was getting a little bit skatey out there. So I definitely know what you mean by, being a handful in the truck. Now, you know, it seemed like Landon did have something for you once he was able to catch you, but like any other race goes, it's one thing to catch somebody, it's a different thing to pass them. And North Wilkesboro is pretty much a one-lane track if you have the momentum, but it seemed like where you put your truck, Landon tried to do the opposite and just couldn't get the power down to get around you.
Yeah, like I said, the first 75 laps was a lot of learning, and the last 75 laps, when I first bolted out of the pits about halfway, I was trying to give it everything I had for a couple laps, and then tried to dial it back a little, just make sure I had some tire because I knew how loose it got just in a 50 lap run, and I was dreading a 75 lap run with this thing. And like I said, lap 50, it was terrible. Trying to get that last 25 out of it. I'm about sweating right now. Like you said, Landon, he tried to get up there, and towards the end, he started closing in a little bit, and then I found one little thing on the entry to both corners, and it kind of stabilized. And then I don't know if he had any internet issues or what was going on, but like I said, just was able to pull away and had a pretty big lead tonight. You definitely like winning races, but you like winning them in that style even better.
Oh yeah, I know all about winning in that style. All the said the none. I race next gens all the way down to the '87 cars. So different variety of racing for myself. But going into the championship at Milwaukee Mile, talking to Dakota and talking to Cody, they have not ran any races at Milwaukee Mile. Have you been able to turn any laps on the famous flat track? And what could we see in store for that number 316?
Yeah, I've been on iRacing for a little over 11 years now, and I had the fortune of when Milwaukee Mile was a pretty popular track. I got to turn a lot of laps there, and nothing nothing in comparison to the level of competitiveness that I have now. I'm sure we're going to get out there and practice. I'm sure Dakota and Cody, and I'm not really sure who the fourth was who made it, but I'm sure everybody's going to go out there and get their practice in. But uh, it's a fun track. It honestly reminds you a little bit of Wilkesboro in terms of just how line sensitive it is, how throttle sensitive it is, and you mess up one little side of the track, your whole lap's gone.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how Milwaukee Mile is. I know how to run it in the next gen trucks. I've done a little bit give and take here. It's definitely going to be something different. Uh, it is going to be an inside lane track. Just don't take that however you like to take that. I didn't say anything, but it's definitely going to be a fun race to watch and call, and hopefully next week we get to talk to you again up here in the broadcast booth. But before I let you get on out of here, celebrate with your wife and your American lager. Is there anybody to give a shout out to?
Yes, sir. Like I said, want to give a shout out to my wife for being patient with me this season. I owe her a vacation as soon as this trip is over. For everybody that's at home watching from this beautiful 316 Stone Cold IPA truck with this beautiful Stone Cold American Lager in my hand, this week and next week, you can run that lane high and you can run it middle, but the best place is to go low. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
All right, Dean, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Hey, see you, buddy. Have a great one.
You as well, bud. All right, that's going to do it for our interviews here tonight. Going to go ahead and bring up our race results one last time. As in P number 1 is going to be Dean Brummett. Second is going to be Cody Reeder. Third is going to be Dakota Camper. Fourth, Josh Anderson. Fifth, Stoney Benfield. Sixth, Richard Gonzalez. Seventh, Jesse Steffs. Eighth is going to be David Mayo. Ninth is going to be Landon Lacey. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night as I'll bring you coverage on CRN for the Core Premier Series as they have a 1-hour endurance race in the Street Stocks at Watkins Glen. Monday night, you're going to catch Carl Handwork in the broadcast booth for the Core GT Series at, I believe it is Road America? Not 100% sure. I think it is Road America. Tuesday, you're going to catch myself, Enrique Gonzalez, along with Caleb Collins, back in the broadcast booth for the Core ARCA Menard Series and the Truck Series as they get ready to do battle for the last 4 races in the season. And then on Tuesday night again, you have Jimmy Covert and Carl Handwork back in the broadcast booth for the UCRL Top Gun Cup Series as they get ready to go for week number 3 in the Vintage 87 cars. Wednesday, no broadcast from CRN. Thursday, we're going to have Carl and Jimmy in the broadcast booth for the Vintage as I try to track down Sam Oliver for the points lead going into the remainder of the season. Friday night, no broadcast. You're going to see me back here Saturday night for the SERL truck race at Milwaukee Mile, 125 laps. You don't want to miss it. Who's going to become the next season champion? That's going to do it for me in the CRN broadcast booth. My name is Dylan McDonald. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.